Hey guys, what's up? Alec back with the daily stock market, and look at that. Check out all the red in the stock market right now. Many stocks down 5% or more. Enphase Energy down 6%. Shopify down 9% with an additional 2% downward movement after hours. But the big story everyone's talking about is AMD down 7% at $109 per share. And overall, their report was very poor. We basically saw everything declining, and oddly enough, we saw AMD up 2% in the pre-market, but as soon as the stock market actually opened up, we saw AMD falling off a cliff as soon as 7:15 a.m., which is only 15 minutes after the stock market truly opened. We saw Nvidia make the downward movement all the way to $111 per share. And then it continued down all the way as low as $107 per share and finished the day closer to $109 per share. Now, to give a nice update on the future earnings still to come, we have PayPal just reporting after hours today, so we'll check up on them. We already checked up on Shopify. We see a lot of volatility going on with Shopify just reported, Qualcomm, Unity Software, Robinhood. So stick around to the end of the video because we'll check up on all those different stocks. Now, Thursday before the open, not much is going on. We have Warner Brothers Discovery, we have Expedia. But Thursday after the close, so tomorrow after the close, we have a big earnings day because Amazon, Apple, and Coinbase all reporting after hours with Block, Airbnb, DraftKings, Cloudflare, and Wish all reporting after earnings on Thursday as well. And Fubo TV and Nikola reporting Friday before the open. And of course, we have to talk about Apple, everyone's favorite stock, reporting earnings this week alongside Amazon Thursday after hours. In the past month, they're flat. In the past 3 months, they're only up 13%. So Amazon is outpacing them in the past 3 months. In the past year, they're only up 20%. So some of the high flyers like Meta, Netflix, Nvidia are outpacing Apple by a long shot. However, if we drag our finger closer to the start of the year, January 3rd, to the present day, we can see that they're up closer to 56%, which is a lot more impressive, considering Apple's 52-week low was closer to $125 per share. Were you buying under $130 per share and closer to those 52-week lows? Comment below if you were. So here we have an article on Yahoo Finance on Apple's third quarter earnings preview. iPhone sales expected to slow as revenue declines. So that's already a bearish title and some bearish expectations coming from Apple this quarter. We already know when they're set to report. They're a $3 trillion market cap at this point. Apple's coming off 2 straight quarters of declining revenue as Mac and iPod sales have flagged, but boosted international demand for the flagship iPhone has proven Apple's resilience alongside a service segment that continues to grow. So here's what Wall Street's expecting from Apple, some of the most significant metrics in the company's fiscal third quarter, according to the data from Bloomberg. So year over year, revenue is expected to decline to $81.55 billion. And in parentheses, you can see what it was last year. It was $82.96 billion in 2022. The EPS is expected to come in same as last year at $1.20. iPhone revenues slightly lower than last year at $39.79 billion. Services revenue at $20.77 billion. Mac revenue slightly lower at $6.37 billion. iPad revenues coming in slightly lower than last year, $6.3 billion. Wearable revenue is $8.3 billion, slightly higher than last year. Apple stock, like much of the tech world, has ballooned heading into the report, rising more than 50% on the year. iPhone sales is a figure to watch, which account for about half of the company's overall revenue is iPhone sales. The quarterly revenue report is expected to arrive just weeks ahead of Apple's new hardware lineup, including the iPhone 15, which should be released next month, and the next slate of smartwatches or iWatches. Earlier this year, the company highlighted its robust growth in emerging markets. CEO Tim Cook noted in a call with analysts the rise of the middle class in India and an untapped market for new iPhone users. Customers in Mumbai and New Delhi began to visit Apple's first physical stores in the country earlier this year. Apple's growing iPhone user base will allow the company to squeeze more money per customer. Goldman Sachs said it's in a preview noted that a potential monetization is driven by the rise in average price per iPhones, the growing number of Apple devices per user, and the opportunity for market share growth in services, the research note said. We believe overall the services business is worth $1.3 trillion to $1.4 trillion of the market cap. So that's a lot of growth ahead for the services of Apple. For Apple, sum of the part valuation and remains an unappreciated asset by Wall Street, an analyst said in a note ahead of earnings. Analysts expect Apple service revenue to surge back to almost double-digit percentage growth by the end of the fiscal year. The ongoing geopolitical tensions between the U.S. and China, an important partner for Apple, are also top of the mind for analysts. The political winds are blowing hot, said an analyst, but I think it hasn't come to a point where it's going to totally disrupt their business in China. Another analyst struck a similar tone. Despite Beijing tension, Apple is gaining market share in China. Something else to consider on Apple's earnings, which arrive alongside Amazon's, round out the quarterly report for major tech companies, followed by better than expected results from Meta, Google, and a revenue miss from Microsoft last week. The tech sector has surged significantly this year, writing optimism on cutting AI technology, the resiliency of online advertising, and the growth in cloud services. After wrapping up July, the tech-heavy NASDAQ won its fifth straight months of gains and is almost up 40% this year. So overall, I don't want to spend a lot of time on AMD. Let's get to the next stock. But overall, I think that them being down 7% is a good place to dollar cost average in. And I think we can even see AMD drop closer to $80 per share. So that's where I want to buy heavier for long term. I do like AMD stock, and I definitely want to be involved with their company, especially at lower prices. So here we see an article coming from the Motley Fool, the why AMD stock is down today despite inching past Wall Street's expectations and beating expectations. AMD's Q2 report failed to impress investors. AMD's soaring stock was priced for perfection, leading to significant dip after the earnings update. And that's why a lot of people don't understand earnings. A lot of the times they say, oh, AMD beat on EPS, they beat on revenue, for example. And why didn't the stock go up? Why is it down 6%? But they didn't impress investors because the stock was priced for perfection, meaning that the stock market has already priced that in. So that's a very important thing to consider, is when the stock market already priced something in, and if the stock market priced maybe too much in, too much of a beat on AMD or better earnings on their earnings release, that's why the stock could trade down. Also because of guidance. Okay, so it might be wise to explore lower priced alternatives while expensive market darlings cool down. Even market darlings like AMD can have off days. The chip designer's latest report hit the market with a bang, but maybe not the way you'd expect. What happened? Shares of AMD down 7% on Wednesday, and they were up down as much as 8.7% by noon Eastern Standard Time. The semiconductor designer reported second quarter business results on Tuesday evening, and the report wasn't impressive enough to support AMD's soaring stock chart. Now let's talk about Amazon at $128 per share. They're reporting earnings tomorrow after hours, keep in mind, so they're the perfect stock to talk about right now. They are only up around 26% in the past 3 months, and they're still down in the past year, with a 52-week low as $81 per share. So that's a far cry away from the highs that we saw back in 2021 at $183 per share. Now, in my opinion, Amazon is one of the best stocks in the stock market for long-term investors, dollar cost averaging in. Okay, I think they're going to be a huge player in AI and cloud computing, and that sector as well. So $150, $175 per share, I definitely think is possible for Amazon, even though it might take as long as 12 to 24 months to see those type of prices on Amazon again. So overall, there's a lot of things to consider for Apple earnings. And if you want to see what I'm doing before earnings for Apple, make sure you message me on Instagram, the Daily Stock Market, to join my close friends list. You can see all my buys, my trades, option trades, swing trades, strike prices, expiration dates, and all of the above. So you can trade alongside with me and have the success coming in from trading consistently. Here, also click on success number 8, success number 9, if you want to see the positive testimonials that other people have had with this program. Some students up as much as 96%, $8,000. The Daily Stock Market, thanks for your hints and gain posts. I have started trading from 3 months with 12K investment and gained $1,315 so far. You can see they're up 10% in the past 3 months. Another student up over $2,100, 14% in one day. Now over 1,000 positive testimonials. So message me here at the Daily Stock Market on Instagram. Now over 800 posts and 206,000 followers. Thank you guys again. I can't say it enough. Thank you for the love and support. Share this video with a friend if you appreciate it. As long as you keep liking these videos, I'll keep making them for you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, don't time the market, buy the market. Peace.